Forrest, you heard Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, and you heard, you've explained this wolf warrior mentality. Do you believe that the Chinese Communist Party is prepared to go to a kinetic war, a conflict now, over Taiwan in the South China Sea or in the Straits of Taiwan, sir?
Okay, I think only few people, including Xi Jinping and a handful loyal person, will want this war. Let's look at it. There is a lot of pressure building up inside China. We talked about the economic pressure before. We know there was a military purge happened in China, which is initiated by Xi Jinping. There's nobody he can trust. So I don't think even on the higher level in the CCP, a lot of people don't want war. They want to keep themselves safe. They want to keep their offspring who are abroad to keep their asset and their children safe. So I think there is a lot of internal pressure. Those people are looking for regime change or leader change. And the most important thing I would like to say is the people. The people are waking up in China because we talked about the marriage rate plummeted over like 21% last time. The Chinese people had enough. They will never trust the Chinese Communist Party and their lies and their propaganda. That's why even if they want to start war, the Chinese people will overthrow this government and they won't support this war. And also the internal people won't support Xi Jinping, the dictatorship. Think about the Ukraine. I think. Yeah.
Hang on a second. They've had a huge purge. You've brought us up to speed on that over the last 6 months to a year. Huge purge of the military under Xi. You're saying, did you just say you believe if there's actually a shooting war, if we go kinetic, that Lao Beijing, that will be the movement that Lao Beijing will overthrow the regime, sir?
The Lao Beijing, including the internal people, which is the high-level people, because they know the system is not sustainable. Because you saw even the high-level ranking people is thrown in prison and disappeared. So they had enough. In order to keep themselves and their family safe, they have to make the decision. They have to act, rather than just follow Xi Jinping or the dictatorship to go to war to destroy everything they had.
Wow. We got about a minute. I want to go to the economic situation because they present a series of numbers that are not great, but they're not awful. Of course, very smart people are saying those numbers are much, much worse than that. Your assessment of the real economic conditions in China today?
You can never trust anything coming out from CCP's mouth, right? All the numbers are fake. We talked about the youth unemployed rate is already over 40, 50. So the manufacturing is leaving China. We talked about Apple. We talked about the TSMC. The situation, the economic situation is very bad, including the real estate sector, which is in deep trouble. Back in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's even worse nowadays. So their economy is not sustainable, and they force people to stay in the labor force and to do very minimum wage work. But even that cannot support all the populations, all the young peoples in the country.
Forrest, where do people go to get the New Federal States TV show, podcast, all your content? Where do they go, sir?
Yeah, they can go to Gather, NFSC TV and NFSC Speaks, and also we have account NFSC TV and Speaks on X.
Also, you put out the daily news. I know it's up on Getter. It is spectacular. The level of detail and analysis. How do people get that daily? How do they get that daily news feed? There's always a half a dozen to a dozen. Really, I mean, and I look at every newspaper in the world. That is some of the best analysis I've seen. You get it up on Getter. How do people get to it?
Thank you so much. People just have to download the Gather. You can find daily news on the Gather app. You can find all those great news, all the truths from China, and all the news in the area.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Forrest, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Sign up for free and be part of the movement.
It isn't just an app. It isn't just a social media platform. It's a community.
Download Getter right now.